The rumors you've been hearing about the Florida homeowners insurance crisis, well, it's not fake news, people. It's a real thing. We're going to talk about it today and whether or not you can even afford homeowners insurance here in Florida. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome everybody. Catherine Newman here. Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to discuss with you the growing issue. It's actually been growing and boiling and toiling and bubbling for several years here in Florida, and that is the topic of homeowners insurance premiums and how expensive it is to have insurance on your home here in the state of Florida.
Oh, you're crazy. Am I? Or am I so sane that you just blew your mind?
And I want to make sure that I give you some real life examples, not just talk about it, but give you some real examples from my buyers over the last few months so you can get an idea for yourself what kind of premiums they are paying for their new homes. But before we dive on in there, I would love for you to subscribe to this YouTube channel and help this algorithm out. Help me out. But I really would appreciate you subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, so I can continue to put some content out there that is valuable and helpful to you in your decision-making process and whether or not you're going to move to the great state of Florida. So I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of what's caused all of these issues for homeowners, because I see a lot of other videos that are on YouTube that really go in depth about the big issue here for homeowners insurance. But just to recap, the big reasons why the premiums are so ridiculous is, of course, number one, weather-related issues like hurricanes. And number two, those hurricanes lead to people making claims on their policy, and a lot of those claims are fraudulent roofing claims. Now, you and I both know when there's a big disaster like Irma, when we had Ian last year, a lot of roofing companies from other states will come down here to help get roofing done, because how many people needed a new roof after that? We did. A lot of people needed, maybe not even a new roof, but they needed roof repair after Hurricane Ian. And so a lot of these companies will come down. Most of them are really great, legit companies, but guess what? Some of them are not. It's just the fact. And of course, people get upset with how things are handled. They put a file. They file a claim with their insurance company, and these things end up in litigation. And then you have many lawsuits that get tied up in the court system for years and years and years. That also led to the increase, of course, in premiums. Then there's reason number three: rising building costs. Now, remember, during the pandemic, Florida was a really popular state for people to want to move here. Why? Well, because we were pretty much open for most of the pandemic when a lot of other states were closed, and we had employment here, and of course a lot of people now could work from home. And so they thought, hey, if I'm going to work from home, I might as well go work from home near a beach where it's warm. So a lot of people moved to Florida. Our population grew by leaps and bounds.
What the hell did you just say?
Do people still say leaps and bounds? Yeah, they do. My mom said they do, so they do.
Mom was right.
So that growth in population led to rising building costs, and those building costs translate into how much it would take for your home to be rebuilt or repaired extensively after a hurricane like we've had last year in Ian. Thank God we didn't have any this year in 2023. So those rising building costs also added to the bottom line of your insurance premium. And of course, let's not forget the reinsurance rates that insurance companies pay. So what is a reinsurance rate for insurance companies? Reinsurance rates, they are insurance that is purchased by an insurance company in which some or even part of its own insurance liabilities is going to be passed on to another insurance company. So those rates went higher, thus leaving all of us to deal with the wonder, which is higher insurance premiums. So that's kind of why insurance premiums are so high in Florida these years. It's kind of in a nutshell. Again, you can look at other YouTube videos if you want to get into the nitty-gritty. That just gives you an overall view of why the premiums are so expensive. And of course, you've been hearing again that many companies have left the state. There's a mass exodus of insurance companies that are no longer issuing policies in the state of Florida. Companies we all know and love, like AAA.
Gotta make you understand, never gonna give you up.
Unless you're in Florida. Farmers.
At Farmers Insurance, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
So much they got the heck out. State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. You're still here.
Well, unlike other insurance companies, State Farm's here for you 24/7.
Jake No Likey, Florida. Nationwide.
Someone you can rely, who's always on your side. Nationwide is on your side.
Unless you are in Florida. Don't you worry. My girl Flo, she's still hanging tight. Well, for now.
Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. Yeah!
Oh, I get it. Flo is short for Florida. But that being said, I did check with my insurance carrier because I have Progressive on my home. And because I'd heard a rumor, but she said the rumor was that they're probably going to drop some of their rental policies. But she also heard that they might drop 100,000 policies. So I don't know if Flo's going to be sticking around for long. Guess we'll find out. And just many, many others. Now, there has been some legislation that has passed through our state and is law now that is trying to combat the really ridiculous prices for homeowners insurance. Now, it's going to take a few years for us to really see the effects, to see if it really works. We're hoping, we are praying, we are believing that that is going to work. But right now, there's not quite a lot going on, but we are seeing some new carriers come into the state, and that's going to help take the load off the Citizens Insurance Company, which is the state-backed insurance. And that's another video, y'all. We're not getting into that. Not going there right now.
Let's not go there.
So when you guys are calling me and texting me and emailing me, asking me that very specific question is, hey, we've heard the insurance, the homeowners insurance premiums in Florida are really crappy. And they are. Can we really afford to come there? Well, that's a great question because you need to factor that in with your budget and really make that decision on if Florida is the right place for you. So I appreciate all of you that have reached out and asked that question. That's why I wanted to put this video together, because there is a distinction. Now, a lot of my buyers, I would say more than half of my buyers, are interested in new construction. And the reason they're interested in new construction is because they know new construction homes are built to the latest building codes for hurricane standards. Not to mention that right now, new construction is where most of the deals are, with builders giving incentives and lowering prices and all that kind of stuff. But I also, you guys know, I always encourage you to also look at some resale homes. So just because resale homes aren't brand new, some of them are only a few years old, but even though they're not brand new, they do offer some benefits that, of course, new construction doesn't. And if you're wondering what those benefits are, please make sure to watch this video, because there are some advantages to buying resale homes that you will not get with new construction. Things like bigger yards, more space between the houses. Sometimes you're getting a pool already. So make sure to watch that video. And I promised you I was going to give you some examples. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you both new construction homeowners insurance premiums and resale homes, different ages of homes, where you can see for yourself what are people actually paying right now. At the end of the year, 2023, are people really able to afford insurance? Now remember, A lot of people are dealing with ridiculous homeowners insurance premiums right now. A lot of those homes are much older homes. They're homes that were not built to current hurricane or building codes. And so they're scrutinized a lot more when it comes to putting together an insurance premium for them. The reason I mention that is because it's very heartbreaking to see what this crisis with homeowners insurance has caused, what it's done to a lot of people that are in older homes. I mean, they've paid for that home, they love their home, and they should love their home. And now they're being priced out, some with $8,000 a year, $12,000 a year and up, depending on the age of the house, the condition of the home, how close it is to the coast, what kind of roof it has, that sort of thing. So my heart really goes out to people that are dealing with that because it sucks big time.
Not cool.
And many of these people already have their homes paid for and they're on fixed income. And now they've made that great milestone of paying off their home. They're on a fixed income and their insurance rate just went from $3,000 a year to $8,000 a year. They don't have any other income to pay that difference. And so unfortunately, you will hear news about people that are going naked.
Something a burglar would not want to see when he breaks into a house. Right.
Naked grandma!
Naked, huh?
No, not that kind of naked. Well, it's Florida, so honey, anything's possible.
What's going on out here?
I wouldn't rule the nakedness out, but we are talking about naked, meaning they're not they're not getting a policy at all because the policies are just too expensive for them. So they're going bare. They're not having any policy on their home at all, which I really, of course, I don't suggest that. I don't recommend that, but I get it. If you're going through that right now, I am praying with you that those things change because I know that's a really tough situation, especially if you have an older home. Here's the rundown on homeowners insurance. If you are buying a new construction home or a home 2022 and older, new construction basically, you're not going to have a problem finding homeowners insurance. I'm going to give you several examples. Next to nothing for homeowners insurance premiums. The prices are going to be really low. Why? Because many new companies have come into Florida to just capture that newer home policy, and they give great rates. Because the house is built to hurricane standards, the roofs are all brand new, HVAC is new, and that sort of thing. So we're going to talk about that new construction. If that's you and you're really interested in new construction, that is your safest bet to avoid really high insurance premiums. Now, if you are looking at resale homes, and I really do recommend you look at some resale homes because not every resale home is going to have crazy high insurance premiums attached to it. But if you're looking at resale, I want to make sure that we do a lot of research prior to going to look at resale homes. So when I set you guys and you call me and we talk and you tell me about your plans, moving to Florida, where you'd like to be, what kind of home you want, square footage, bedrooms, baths, blah, blah, blah. When I set you up on our automatic MLS search, that criteria is going to go in there, and then any homes that you put a heart by or you put a like by or you ask me about and you say these are the ones from that list that we'd really kind of like to see, these interest us, then I'm going to take those homes and I'm going to send them to a few different insurance companies that I've worked with, that a lot of my buyers have worked with. I get recommendations from my buyers all the time with the insurance companies that they like working with. So I'm going to send those homes to those people and get a ballpark estimate of where they think that premium is going to come in. Now, what that gives you is information up front, because I don't want to get your heart settled on a house and just to find out that the insurance premium is, $15,000 a year. So that is something that I want to do for my buyers up front, so that when we go look at those houses, you already know you can handle that ballpark guesstimate insurance premium. Now remember, there are several factors that go into giving you the best rate for homeowners insurance. Your credit score, how many claims you've made on other houses, sometimes how many claims have been made on the house you want to go see. So all of those things factor in. And for any resale home, you are going to need 2 pieces of very important information to give to your homeowner's insurance company so that they can determine what kind of premium should be on that house. And those 2 things are a wind mitigation certificate and a 4-point inspection. The 4-point inspection is going to cover these 4 issues: your HVAC, your electrical, the plumbing on a house, and of course the roofing, which is a big deal here. Now, this very important inspection is the wind mitigation inspection, and it's going to verify the construction details of your home, and they're going to use it to qualify you for discounts on your insurance premiums. So the better your house is built to withstand, of course, wind damage like hurricanes, the more discounts you're going to qualify for each year. Now, the purpose of the wind mitigation inspection is to determine, of course, the appropriateness of a given structure's construction in the event of course, like hurricanes, strong winds. And in Florida, believe it or not, premium discounts for certain favorable wind mitigation features, they're mandated by state law, and they can sometimes show you a savings up to 45% off of the original policy's premium. So you want to make sure you have that. And again, they are going to be mandated to give you homeowners insurance premium or homeowners insurance policy on your home. So once you have those 2 pieces, the wind mitigation, the 4-point, and again, remember that comes in when you do the inspection on the home. We're going to make sure you get all of that done within that time frame of your inspection. You have a certain amount of days there that you negotiate with that seller of the house. You have 10 days, 15 days to get those inspections done. You want them all done at the same time, as close to the same time as possible, so that we can find out. We send those certificates to the insurance company, then they have that legitimate information in front of them. They can give you a good rate, because we want to know that you can afford that homeowner's insurance premium before the end of that inspection deadline. Why? Well, because if for some reason that homeowner's insurance is just too high, then you can get out of the contract. There's also an addendum we can add to a contract that is just for homeowners insurance, saying that, you know, you'll buy that house based on a contingency that you find a homeowners insurance premium that doesn't exceed X amount of dollars. Again, that's all the kind of stuff we can talk about once you found your house. I'll make sure that we have everything, all of our ducks in a row, so that it's protecting you as we go through the process. So let's get into some real world examples. We're going to start with new construction. Now, on a new construction home, it's not mandatory for you to have a wind mitigation or a 4-point inspection. So that's only for resale homes. People can certainly have it if they want to pay for it, but it's not necessary to get you the best rates. And remember too, that sometimes people choose different deductibles, which changes their bottom line premium every month. It also will choose maybe different bells and whistles that they want on a policy, and not everybody will have the same. But just to give you an idea, this is an 1,829 square foot home, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's a 1-level, new construction again, 2-car garage, and their yearly premium was $1,559.04. Now, this new construction house is 1,815 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, plus a flex room, and their insurance premium for the year, the annual insurance premium was $991. Not so bad. Of course, this is all just in the last few months. And they also had to have a flood insurance because they had an AE zone, and their flood insurance policy was $553 for the year. So not a lot. A lot of people think it's going to be crazy if you're in an AE zone. Not necessarily, only $553 a year. And again, another house. This is a 1,681 square foot, 2-bedroom, 2-bath in a 55 plus community. And it also has a tile roof. So a tile roof is also going to give you more savings for your homeowner's insurance premiums. And this house for yearly homeowner's insurance premiums was only $1,090, 1090. And again, another new construction, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, right under 2,400 square feet. Just closed this one yesterday, actually. And the yearly insurance premium on this was $780. No kidding, $780 for your yearly insurance premium. Now, this one was also in a flood zone, and that flood policy was $734 a year, $734. Now we're going to spend a little more time on resale homes, different ages, different types of homes. Here we're looking at a condo. You can see it was built in 1965. So, of course, insurance is going to cost more for a condo. It's also in Bayshore Gardens, which is closer to the beach. So the premiums are going to be a little bit more. You can see that it is only 576 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, again, built in 1965. And the premium on this condo was $1,979 a year, $1,979. Now, here's a townhome I just recently closed on. It was up in Clearwater, really close to the beach, up in Pinellas County. You can see it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-story, and it was built in 1997. So, of course, it was a lot older. And being near the beach, and the premium, the homeowner's insurance premium on this was $2,155 a year, $2,155 a year. And then here's a house in Port Charlotte, of course, which is in South Sarasota County. Don't pay attention to the price or anything like that. My buyer bought this from an investor who was flipping it, and he totally remodeled it. Made it really, really nice. So my buyer was able to buy it on here. So this is an old listing from, back in 2012. But I wanted you to see that it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, built in 1979. And of course, he redid it. It had a new roof and that sort of thing on it. She was able to get a homeowner's insurance premium. Now, remember, Port Charlotte's a lot closer to the coast than we are here in Parrish, Florida. Her insurance premium was $1,745 a year. $1,745, not so bad. And another 1987 built home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This one actually had a pool. Sometimes that, of course, is going to make your premium a little higher because there's some risk involved in that for the insurance company, of course. And this one just closed a few days ago. I actually referred this up to Citrus County to a great agent up there in my company. And we worked this deal together, but it just closed. Again, it had 1,580 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and their yearly annual premium with a pool, remember, for a 1987 house was $1,962.72. $1,962.72. Not so bad. Also had a newer roof. And what about this 2,127 square foot house right here in Parrish, Florida? It was built in 2006, was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This one also had a private pool, and the roof and the HVAC had both been replaced in 2021. So I think you're seeing sort of a theme here. If the roof is newer and the mechanicals in the house are newer, then of course the insurance premiums are going to be less. Now on this house, you're not going to believe the insurance premium that my buyer was able to get. It was $1,000 a year. No kidding, $1,000 a year. Now she is a retired Navy person, and I think that she had just been with Navy Federal for a long time. She was able to get a really great rate. But I mean, come on, that's pretty cool, right? And I'll wrap it up with this home. Now, I actually was the agent that listed this home, but I do know what the buyers were paying for their homeowner's insurance policy. This was a house down in Inglewood, and it's 2,148 square feet. It was built in 1985. So again, that's an older home. Luckily, they got a new roof last fall, 2022, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,148 square feet, built in 1985. And it's also in a boating community where there are canals, and it was only 3.9 miles from the beach. So, of course, the homeowner's insurance premium on this home is going to be a little higher. And their yearly premium, the new buyers,
are paying about $4,400 a year. So this is the highest that I've seen with my business right now, $4,400 a year. Again, closer to the beach, and it had a pool, and it was in a boating community, so a little more risk for the insurer.
So there you have it. You see some different examples of both new construction and resale homes and different ages of resale homes and what people are paying for homeowners insurance premiums right now in this market. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be the same for everyone. It's certainly not going to be the same if you live in a different market in Florida, but this is what's happening here on the Gulf Coast of Florida for my clients in the last few months. Again, remember, we're going to do this homework prior to you going to see any resale homes just to make sure that you can afford homeowners insurance for those individual homes. And again, those are just things that I want to make sure we do in advance to help you make this journey way less stressful, right? As stress-free as possible, and to just give you an idea of what things are going to cost beforehand. And as always, if you have any questions about any of this kind of information or any information about the markets here in Manatee and Sarasota County, I'd love to speak with you. I have such a great time talking with you guys on the phone. It's so true that we almost feel like family right away. So we always have a really good time together. So if you have any questions, give me a call. I'd love to chat with you. And if you found value in this video or any of the other videos on my channel, it would sure bless me if you would subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it because it really helps the algorithm, algorithm.
I got rhythm.
So please make sure you subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you have any other topics you want me to research and talk to you guys about, definitely leave some comments below. I'm Catherine Newman. I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.